2014, I took this, spiritual path that my heart took me to the place, where I needed to tell the stories, and that was the refugee camps and, the war and aftermath of the war.
Welcome to Cinema 5D on the Go. Moving conversations about moving images with filmmakers and industry leaders. Brought to you by Tilta, Blackmagic Design, Manfrotto, and Olympus OMD in association with Sony. This is your host, Nino Leitner.
Welcome to this episode of Cinema 5D on the Go. We're still in Hollywood, California, and today with Apo, a documentary director from originally Kurdistan, right?
Correct.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming here.
Absolutely.
So we are actually here right across the street from the Chinese theater.
Yes.
Because your documentary is about to be screened.
Yes. Resistance is Life is a documentary that tells the story of Kurdish people in Kobani in the summer of 2014 when the ISIS attack. And it shows the resistance of Kurdish female fighters and men and women of this town resisting against ISIS for 6 months and actually defeating them. We told the story, unlikely like other war documentaries, we told the story through an 8-year girl's perspective and the struggle in the refugee camps, and as well as the frontline lives through an 8-year girl named Evelyn.
Actually, let's show our audience the trailer so they know what we're talking about. I think this girl is really amazing. I mean, like,
yes,
when I saw it. But let's have a look.
Thank you.
داشت که مساجی کرام جدیدیم زارو که میگی چوچکون امریکا بود برنامه مهدی امروزیون گام گیشتن بر خاطر دقیقی وابام قطنات.
The city of Kobani is about to fall into the hands of the jihadists.
أنا قربان أسرمان أبي أنا قربان أكون على تراك
دمو كام هاتنا في عرض تركي فوسما مكيا مكو أمارا أزنكم براكينا. ولميت إشارة داشم قويت إن السبيع مكانا بيجي بعد خدانا يبقى.
They are ready to pick up rifle and defend their land. And they come in because the pain is so massive.
دبستانی ما خوشه هم در کیفن نوبره هم مشته زارو کن دستگینه هم دسالیت بن
کوبانی رزگار نبیا زاروک جی رزگار نبیا کوبانی رزگار نبیا مالباز جی رزگار نبیا برگیش گردایی هم
ولا تخوح حزتك يمكن ند ولا تمام هواي در كده عشت بان
So wow, this looks like a incredibly challenging shoot. I mean, how much time did you spend in the refugee camp?
I spent 18 months in the region. 7 months I was in the refugee camps, and then when the time was right, I went to front lines to witness the war and the disaster in the war zone.
So you went to Syria?
Yes. After liberation of Kobani, when the ISIS was defeated, the town was safe. We went in and we saw it. But at the same time, the war still was continuing in the surrounding villages.
Yeah.
So I was with the Kurdish fighters that we went to front lines to see, you know, the operation.
Yeah.
And yes, it was a very crazy and big experience.
That's incredible. I mean, but tell us a little bit about your backstory. I mean, how did you come to the US?
Yeah. Well, I was born and raised in a small town in eastern Turkey called Bazidi. Growing up, I always had the dream of becoming a filmmaker. After finishing high school, my brother at the time was living in San Francisco, and I had the opportunity to move out here, go to college, and, you know, pursue my dreams. I moved out here right after high school when I was 19. Started working as a busboy at a restaurant in San Francisco, and went to City College, learn English. Then met my, you know, mentor. His name is Angelo Ciaffi. He was a linguistic at Berkeley University and a true artist, Renaissance artist, filmmaker, painter, chef. He influenced me a lot in my dreams and in my pursuing of my career. And then I decided, you know, I made a short film with his help, and then we played some festivals. Immigrant guy, 20 years old, playing red carpets in United States. Then, you know, they told me LA this place that I should be. I moved to LA. Then they told me, you know, there's the best film school in the world. It's called USC. You should go there. I applied. I got in.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, I went to USC Film School, then graduated, and then.
Did you get like a scholarship? Or?
Yes, I got an 80% scholarship because my grades were good.
Amazing.
I was a good student.
Yeah, because it's not. I mean, going
yes.
to college or university here is not cheap.
No, not at all. Especially USC Film School, if you look it up. So yeah, I was lucky and blessed enough to accomplish that. And since graduation, I've been working on short films in the industry as assistant director, editor, and then, you know, 2014, I took this. You know, spiritual path that my heart took me to the place, you know, where I needed to tell the stories, and that was the refugee camps and you know, the war and aftermath of the war.
I mean, how did actually going there, what did you anticipate before you went there, and how did it end up being? Because I mean, obviously with us people in the West, everybody is kind of scared. I mean, like I couldn't imagine you know, like ending up in a war zone. I mean, you must have been terrified going there.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I didn't tell anyone that I'm going there, including my family, because
yeah, they would be worried.
Yeah, it's a challenging decision, and for me, it wasn't that hard. But, you know, my guts told me that I should. The whole project started as me applying and going there as a volunteer. I wanted to go volunteer at refugee camps and help people. And when I went there, you know, the first 2 days I was nervous, worried, scared, you know, being a dual citizen, and you have American passport, but ISIS is like literally within 2 miles in radius. They can kidnap you, kill you. So I was worried for first few days and scared. Then I met a lot of people like myself from Western world that they actually went there to volunteer at the camps. And then I was like, oh wow, this is like San Francisco. This is very diverse. People from Italy, Germany, New Zealand, Australia, America, everywhere. Like
okay.
any part of the world that came in to volunteer and help. So that kind of, you know, changed the atmosphere, and people saw the unity in actually, you know, Western world is like nowadays from their homeland, they're very closed off to the whole refugee issues. But on the ground, then you see the other side of Western world that they are really trying to help and give to these people. So yeah, it wasn't easy, but as time passed on and as I met the people like myself, they're trying to do something for those people. You know, it made a huge difference for me.
I think also, I mean, like we saw it in Europe, and I'm sure also in Turkey.
Yes.
Where the mood just shifted so rapidly. I mean, like when the refugee crisis started, I myself was shooting a documentary for TV, and we went to the Hungarian-Serbian border where they would start letting, you know, the Syrian refugees through, and in the beginning it was really like, oh my God, we gotta help these people, and everybody was welcoming them.
Yeah.
And then the mood shifted, and because it just didn't stop. And it's same in Turkey. I mean, there are millions of Syrian refugees in Turkey, isn't that right?
Yeah, I mean, the influx and the problem is like, I mean, hopefully it's gonna end soon, but it's like a very, it's not that complex, but we make it as very complex because of the, you know, systems, government and legal issues that refugees has to face nowadays is like it's very overwhelming. And also like Western world's perspective on refugees is very limited because we see people as refugees no matter where they come from or what the background they have, because they are putting the same a guy from Somalia or like
everybody's put in the same
same pot, and you're like, no, that's not exact same pot. Everyone has a different background and different escape from something that put them onto this road.
Yeah. So what is this? I mean, this girl that is starring in your documentary.
Yes.
I mean, she's amazing because we see it in the first shot of the trailer that she's incredibly up-spirited, positive little girl.
Yeah.
And she talks about these horrible things. She's completely aware of what happened.
Yeah.
Which is it's just kind of mind-boggling to see. I mean, how did you meet her and her family?
Yeah. Well, Evelyn is the soul and heart of this project. Sometimes things come to you because when you're in search, you probably never can find what you're looking for. But Evelyn was like a gift came down. It was my second week filming and volunteering with the Doctors Without Borders, giving shots to children. I was a translator. It was my second week. As I was volunteering and I was filming, here comes Evelyn to the camera, says, "Do you want me to talk to you? Do you want to interview me?" And I was just like, like every other children, you're like, okay, whatever. This is another kid is gonna say something.
Yeah.
But the moment that you see in the trailer is the moment when I met Evelyn, when she opens her mouth and says, "My name is Evelyn and I escaped from Kobani because ISIS was bombing us and they were about to slaughter us. We couldn't escape," and all that. And I was like, I was in awe, I was in shock. I was like, this is coming from her, like 8 years old girl, smiley face, but very powerful, very mature, telling this horrifying story. So Evelyn's spirit, courage, maturity, and intelligence, everything, like made me to tell this story 10 times more, because I saw the spirit, I saw the hope, I saw the future. As her being a female, a woman, and a child in the war zone, having this courage and hope, it made me appreciate life more and bring this story to out there, because people really need to see how these people are courageous and beautiful and hopeful to the rest of the world.
Amazing, yeah, absolutely.